Hey friend, Church D coming at you once again. Thank you for tuning into What Does It Take to Win. Can you believe we're already in a brand new month? I feel like each episode I do, we're entering into a new season or something like that. I wonder what that's about. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody's safe and enjoying a prosperous 2021. So before we get right into it, I just want to let you guys know that I put out some music on January 25th, 2021. It's a brand new album entitled Something's Missing. I have 13 amazing tracks on there. I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from it. Lots of people are loving it. I've been getting a ton of streams, ton of people who are downloading it and just, saying, hey, man, you did a great job on this album. So I'm pretty proud of it. I did some good singing on there as well. So if you want to hear my singing voice, you could check it out. And share it with your friends, share it with your family, or you can just, add it to your playlist and keep it on heavy rotation so I could collect my coins. So you know how that goes. And feel free to check out my other records. You can look at my full catalog of music. Back in 2019, I put out an album by the name of The Cactus Bare Minimum 2.0. In 2020, I dropped a single by the name of The Vision with a really amazing saxophonist. And then also in 2020, during the summer months, I put out an EP by the name of The Big Reveal. It has some really cool jazz vibes on that, as well as a little bit of reggae and some Afrobeat. So just look at you can check out my whole catalog of music. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. And just be sure to share with people who are into good music. I always say I make music for intelligent people. So if you're not into it, then, no shade to you, but you know the deal. I'm just kidding. You can have your own preference in music. It's fine. No shade to you, for real. Go ahead and click that link in my bio. You can access my music. Also, if you need beats, instrumentals, etc. for your videos, or if you're a rapper, songwriter, or singer, somebody who loves music and just needs an instrumental, click the link in my bio. Go to soundclick.com/churchd. I have over 100 instrumentals ready to be purchased and used for whatever it is you need it to be used in. So go ahead and do that. That link is also in the bio, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, a few seconds ago. And if you feel like giving me a donation, you can do that as well. I know I don't ask for that, and you're totally not obligated to, but if you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I like what this guy's saying, he gives some pretty valuable advice, and you feel like sending me some money, go for it. I'll be sure to put it to use anyways, to good use, rather. I'm not greedy. I'm not going to keep it and say, I'm going to go on a shopping spree. No, that's not what I'll do with it. So if you would like to do that, if you'd like to send a donation, go ahead, click the link in the bio and select where it says donations. And you can do so. You can bless your homie. But that's enough about me. That's enough about the little promo that I do in the beginning. Let's dive right into the topic of the hour, right? It's not going to really be an hour, but I think you get what I'm saying. So the topic for this episode, I'm going to actually be dealing with our elders. And it's kind of like a part 2 to my other podcast episode that deals with accountability. So if you want to check that one out first, you can go ahead and listen to it and then come back to this one. Or you can listen to it afterwards. Either way, it doesn't matter. But I think both episodes will help you to have a better understanding of accountability and respecting your elders. So, let me just stop babbling, if you will, and let's jump right into this topic. So the title of this podcast episode is Respect Your Elders. I think this is going to be the most important episode you'll listen to, tied with accountability. Why? Because, if you go biblical, what is it? The first commandment with promise is to honor your parents so you'll live long. So that right there says it all. I don't even have to say anything else on this episode about respecting your elders, because simply put, if you honor them, if you respect them, then biblically speaking, you should be able to enjoy a long, prosperous life. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. I have 3 quick points that I'm going to touch upon. And let's just jump right into it. So the first point is to first identify your elders. Okay, who are your elders? The second point is to respect your elders. Self-explanatory. And the third and final point is to listen to your elders and take heed to their advice. So let's start off with the identification process. Identify your elders. Who are they? Now, your elders are simply people who are older than you. I don't know if I could simplify that any more than it already is. Who are they? Obviously, they're your parents, but they're not limited to just your parents. They can be older siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, family friends, mentors, etc. I like to think of these people as your village. But if you don't have a village around you, or if you believe you don't have a village around you, believe it or not, you actually do have a village around you. And this goes back to another episode that I did on this podcast where I said, take time out to listen. You can just listen to the world around you. Whenever you go shopping, or let's say you work out, like I know I work out a lot. So at the gym, I tend to make friends, and we're just cordial. We're not like best of buddies, but every time I see them, it's usually older people. They have some advice that they want to give me, or you can just sort of, listen to the conversations that they have amongst each other. Not eavesdrop, but, just sort of keep an open ear, like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. Let me try to think about this from their perspective, or let me try to handle that situation from their perspective, and so on. So, even if you're a loner, you can just listen to these people who are older than you, who are your elders, if you will. Okay, so that's how to identify your elders. See, quick and easy, to the point. So the second point is to respect your elders. And this, again, ties in with accountability. Now, believe it or not, my generation, your generation, I'm not super old. I'm not that young anymore, however. We don't know everything. And we live in the fact-checking era where we can just pull out our phones and Google stuff and always correct somebody. But we don't know everything. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes I myself am wrong. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, what? I was wrong. I made a mistake. I can't do that. I'm Superman. No, but in all seriousness, you can you're supposed to use your elders as the ones who will hold you accountable for your actions. And we can look at sports, for example. Now, if you've never played sports, well, just listen in on this, or you can apply it to something else if you're an artistic person. Or if you're just, into anything, fine arts, artistic. Yeah. But, so let's say a sports team, right? Every team has a coach, right? The coach isn't actually playing the game, but the coach has a high IQ, a high understanding of how the game should be played, and, certain plays that you need to run in order to defeat your opponent, the opposing team, or if you're into track and field, the opposing competitor, or whatever you may want to call it, the person you're going up against. And coaches are usually older than the team that they're coaching. Once in a while, you'll see like a player coach or the coach who's like right around the same age as the players. But for the most part, the coaches are always older. Why? Because they were there before. They played the game. They've participated in the sport. They have mastered the sport. And they now have enough experience to be able to coach you along the way and to show you how to dominate in that sport. Okay, so the coach is now your elder. You have to respect your coach. You have to allow your coach to hold you accountable for your actions on and off the court, if you will, if we're going to be talking about basketball. But I didn't specify which sport. But you have to allow that coach to hold you accountable. Okay, same thing with your elders. A lot of what you're going through now is what they've already been through. I can't stress this enough. So take heed to their advice. Respect them. They could tell you a thing or two. My elders who are into music and entrepreneurship and all that good stuff, I listen to what they have to say. Now, they've grown up in a different time, so things are a little bit different, but a lot of the advice that they've given me is very practical, and I can still apply it to my craft. And I respect them enough to say, thank you for the advice. I'm going to take that into consideration. Rather than saying, yeah, you're old, you're washed up. I'm going to ignore you because, your day has expired and it's a new day. No, that's not how you respect your elders. So keep that in mind. And just, take heed to their advice. As a matter of fact, that's a great segue into my third and final point, which is to listen to your elders and take heed to their advice. Simply put, to be the king, you have to first serve the king. And what that means is, if you want to be the king, you have to watch what the king does. You have to watch his mistakes. You have to watch his success. You have to watch how he interacts in his relationships. You have to watch how the king handles conflict. Watch how they teach. Watch how they lead. And just look at all of their flaws. That way you can become a better version of them when it's finally your time to serve and become king or queen, because, I know there are ladies that listen to this podcast. So this, applies to you as well. Take heed, listen, observe. That way you can become the best version of who you want to be. And you can attract everything you want to attract. If it's that career that you're looking for, you can attract that. And so on. Whatever it is that you want to embark on, it's just going to come to you. Just, based on listening to your elders and learning from them and taking heed to their advice. I'll leave you with a short story. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this briefly before on another episode, but I'd want to reiterate it because it ties into listening to your elders. I have an uncle who, and I'm pretty sure he'll be listening to this episode too. If not, I'll try to force him to listen to it. But I had an uncle, I have an uncle who basically told me how my life was going to go. Now, he was telling me this stuff probably in my early 20s. He was like, okay, man, so this is what's going to end up happening if you do this. If you end up doing that this way, this is how that's going to happen. And this is what that outcome is going to be. So me in my early 20s, I'm still a little young and, you're not fully developed. I don't care what anyone says. They claim, oh, you're an adult at 18. You're not even fully developed really at 30. You're just getting settled into it, but that's a whole nother topic. So in my early 20s, I have a head full of steam. I'm just like, whatever, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to take your advice because I know everything and I'm never wrong. This is kind of how I was taking it in. Obviously, I would never say that to him at all. But as he would give me advice and say, this is what's going to happen if you do it that way, I would say, okay, well, thank you for your advice. But so I always had a but instead of just taking heed to what he had to say, instead of just respecting it and saying, okay, maybe he went through this. Maybe he knows what he's talking about. OK, and so some time went on and I can just about itemize all the things that he said. It came true one by one by one. And I'm like, wow, he really told me about this years in advance. And my heart had decided to not listen to him, to not take heed to his advice. And I ended up having to just go through that. I could have avoided it because he gave me a heads up. So don't be like me when I was in my 20s, at least, or in my early 20s. Be like me now, now that I'm older, right? Listen to your elders. Take heed to their advice. They're here for a reason. And if you're lucky enough to still be around them and they can talk to you and communicate with you and they want to give you advice, you've got it made, believe it or not. So that's basically it for point number 3. So we've made it through. This was a short and sweet episode. Let's do a quick recap. So the first point is to identify your elders. Who are they? They're not just your parents. They can be anybody. They could be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, family, friends, people that you just meet with whenever you go to the gym or to the grocery store, whoever. Point number 2, respect your elders. Hey, that's the first commandment in the Bible. You honor your parents and then you'll live long. You want to prosper, you want to live long, respect your elders. And the third and final point, listen to the advice and take heed to their advice. Listen to your elders. They've been here before you. They've gone through it probably several times before you can even think about the situation. You'll save a lot of time and a lot of energy if you just listen to them and take heed to their advice. Thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope it blessed you and I hope it encouraged you. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to share this. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with people you don't even like. Share it with that person who keeps bothering you for advice. I got you covered. And lastly, if you'd like to connect with me, just click the link in the description for all of my content. I have some great things in store for you. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.